Good morning. I'm Leland with Stiff Competition Outdoors, and today we're going to be installing the new Precision charger. It's a 3-bank, and it's 10 amps per bank. And this right here is actually the new Precision MK330PC. And so basically what we're going to be doing is mounting this inside of the boat, back down in the battery compartment back over here where I have my other Minn Kotta battery charger. Now, the only reason why I'm installing this is because it's more precise, and it actually does not bleed down your battery strength, and also lengthens the battery life. So it also has a temperature sensing gauge unit on it that allows it to basically sense the temperature charge of the battery, and what it is a temperature compensation for the battery. So we're going to go ahead and I've already started a little bit on this already. So basically some of the things that you would need would be some type of a razor or a razor knife. I wouldn't use it like this, but I work with these all the time so that there's no problems with cutting me. So and just your basic wire snips, a drill with a Phillips head bit on it, and also a Phillips screwdriver. Basically, this charger has of course 3 banks, and it's 10 amp per bank. And on the indication of the charger itself, you will see that it has 3 selections here. Basically, you can choose either one of these to whichever batteries you want to go to. But basically, I usually use the first and second for my trolling motor batteries, and then the third for my, right here, for my start battery, which all of my electronics and all that stuff is wired to. Okay, each one of these leads comes with a 30 amp fuse protector, and they're water sealed, watertight, 30 amp. So basically what I've done, I went on ahead, my type charging system has, which most boats do, they have the flip up cap, and mine of course has 3 screws. So all I did was popped out the 3 screws here, and basically you just take and you pull this out. Now, on the back of this connector, you have your black, green, and white. Of course, your black and white, everyone knows what that is. Green is your ground. Now, you must have this thing connected to a GFI circuit at any time that you are charging it. So that means if you have some type of surge protector, if you pull up to a boat ramp, or if you pull up to a motel, which most of us tournament anglers do, basically you would have to have some type of GFI connection system, just in case water fault or electrical storm or something like that will not travel the voltages back to your battery charger. And you can just pick up one of the GFI surge protector that you can actually plug into a regular 120 outlet at any given point. That right there will still protect your system with any type of electrical circuit charge. So basically you would have to take each one of these screws out right here, and then you just correspond with what you already have in there, which all of these terminals on the back here is got the exact color, and also ground, hot, and 12-volt system wired to it. So what I done, basically I went on ahead and I cut and I stripped back my 3-prong right here. Basically this right here was actually just connected to my wire here like that. So basically cut it and strip it back. Be careful that when you're cutting these, that down here at the tip right here, if you're cutting it with a razor or something like that, make sure you bend back the wires and make sure you did not cut into those wires. A lot of people do that, and it actually starts a little bit of a shorting sequence with the battery, and you'll have a malfunction red light blinking. Alright, so basically now all we have to do is take your 3 wires, get your wire strippers, and just strip back the wires here. You don't have to strip them back too far, just enough to where they'll make a good connection to your screws that you're going to be screwing it into the wiring harness there. Basically about that right there is probably about ½ an inch. Probably about ½ an inch is all you would need on that. Okay, so now we'll come over here to the actual wiring connection here. Let's see if we can pull this out some more so we can see it over here. Alright, basically you're going to take your, the reason why you need your Phillips hand screwdriver is because the terminals that's on here, you don't want to over tighten them, because you can strip them out. So you just take your screwdriver and you just, it's easier to go ahead and use your screwdriver. Alright, so we'll take these off. And for me, it's just a lot easier whenever you unscrew one of these. Go ahead and put the color code back in the same position that it was originally on your other one. That way you don't get your wires crossed. It's just a lot easier for me. Alright, so we got that one wires. Alright, when you get all them wires out, you just take and plug your other wires in there. That's on your other battery. But be sure to run your new wire back up through the hole so that you're able to actually wire up your new charger. So we're going to move this over here. Alright, take and run this back up through the hole here. Alright, so now, once we wire this into here, we'll be good to go. We won't have to worry about, any excess wires anywhere else. So, alright, right where I took out the old existing wire, you just take the new existing green wire and just push it back in there. And on this particular socket outlet for my boat, it actually is green coated for the ground, so you will not cross-reference those up. So, also when you're stripping the wire, make sure you get as much copper fiber in there as possible. Alright, and you just take and stick this down in here. Make sure it's down there good and snug. And you take your screwdriver, just take it and you screw it down pretty tight. Oh, one more thing before I do this. I just caught myself. The back side of most of these plugs has a rubber weather protector cover. Make sure you do run your wires up through that as well when you're doing this. Alright? And also these screws, The screws on them, also the darker screw, of course, is for your black, and the lighter, like a silver screw, is actually going to be for your white. So we'll take these out. Okay, so we'll take these off. Alright, then you take and slide your old wire back through the rubber grommet. And you want to run these bad boys right here back through there. Okay, so now we got that taken care of. We can take and run the green wire back on your ground. There again, make sure that you have no copper sticking out above, or make sure that, you know, when you stick this down in here, make sure that it goes all the way down inside. Now you don't want no copper sticking up out of this right here, which it wouldn't matter much anyway, but you just don't want to have any copper showing out the top. Then once you screw this in, there again, make sure it's pretty tight. You want to pull on that wire just a little bit, make sure it's snug. Okay, then you do your black, which is your hot. You want to put that on the darker screw. You got the black screw, and then you have the silver or the lighter color screw. Of course, your black is going to go on the dark screw. Alright, there again, make sure you got it nice and snug down there. You don't want no copper showing up through the back side of this. You just tighten that down. And there again, when you're using these type outlets, if you are using these type, also make sure, I just want to do a quick, each one of them has a weep hole, which means the water will seep out through these, and of course this is always exposed, but you have your rubber cap that goes over it. But sometimes you get water down in there and stuff whenever you stop on the lake and the water backwash into it, in case you do the cover and you forgot to flip the cover back down and seal it. But that little weep hole right there allows the water to go down and stops corrosion a lot. So alright, we tighten up the black one, we give it a little snug, and it's good. Alright, next step is put the white one in. Alright, take and put this white one in here. Alright, make sure she's down there pretty good. And you want to go ahead and tighten her down. Woo! Tighten her down, man. The reason why you want these connections tight, you don't want these loose connections to become a problem whenever you want to take and go on a long day's work. Excuse me, I'm thinking of work still. A long day on the water. So, alright, we got all these snug down and good and tight. You want to keep you a little bit of length here. Whenever you slide your waterproof protecting cover back over it, it should not come back out the back. So basically now we're all set right here as far as this is concerned. And some of these connectors or connections have threads on the back. That's for a different type installation other than a fiberglass boat. It just seals it, it secures it better up to the hull of the boat or the gun wall, whichever you might be fastened to. But mine has 3 holes with a rubber washer on it, so we should be good. Alright, so once you get that in place, you want to take and pull out your old wire. Just take and drop it back down through the hole here. Then you push it back down through the hole. Alright, and then you want to take and push your new wire back down through the hole. And there again, everything's nice and tight and secure when you get these 3 screws back in here. you can put these back down where it was at. I'm thinking mine was turned around like this, right here. Yep. And then you got to make sure your rubber washer's in the same line of the holes that's already there. Then you want to take your screws and put them back in place. There again, make sure your rubber washer is in place as well, so that you won't break that rubber seal. All right. Then you can use your drill to tighten them back down. Here again, you know you are drilling in fiberglass, guys, so you don't want to torque these down too much. It's hard for me to video off of my phone and doing this at the same time, but we'll get it. Okay. Then, of course, you put your cover back on it. Now, once you get that taken care of, then you have to make a decision on where to actually put your wires for your battery charger. But basically, I'm going to do a quick video of this right here. I got my old Minn Kotta battery charger in here already. So,